Hi, everyone, and welcome to TWF Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and with Wade Barrett. And today on Collision or Hit, we're going to talk about what happened yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown. Yesterday on Friday night.
Hello, Moto.
Yes, Mom?
Hey, Skip, do you want, Sam's hot dogs for supper or meatball hoagie?
I'll take Sam's hot dogs. I was in the middle of the film, but I'll take Sam's hot dogs.
Do you want fries?
No, I do not.
Alright.
Yeah, they'll say, well, they didn't know. They'll say they didn't know. Well, that's true life for you folks. And yesterday on Friday night SmackDown, we saw Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley beat Roxanne Perez and Raquel Gonzalez and keep the TWF Women's Tag Team winnings for another day. That's what we saw yesterday on Friday Night SmackDown. I'll tell you right now, Jim Ross says, the way things are going, who knows if the Doomsday is giving up. And who knows if we will see that match play out again here today on Collision or Hit. I can tell you one thing right now, Tony and Jim. The only way that I can look at it is in the Doomsday, they're not going to give up so smoothly. They're not going to be like the Nexus, or the Ace and Aids, or the NWO, or DX. They're going to be like the NWO, like DX, like the Nexus, like the Ace and Aids, and sooner or later, they're not going to give up until they have all the straps. And I want to be on the right side of yesteryear, if you know what I mean. The right side of yesteryear. If there is a right side of yesteryear. And first we now have Elena Asine in the ring now. And the stand that she's in is really not the greatest. And it's cutting her head off. Alright, everyone. You may have seen me have wars with Steven Richards going back to at least the 8th month. Going back to the 8th month or the 9th month of this year. And I think this offshoot of me is less likely that I can't wrestle. But I'm here to tell you, I got a friend of mine. I've known him since 2005 while ago. And that would be the Funny Spinks. Why they call him Funny, I don't know. Maybe that's his first name. Maybe Spinks is his kid name. Shit, I don't know. You got that right. And what do you want me to do? Well, I'm telling you this is your first match, and don't let me down. Oh, don't worry about it, Elena. You're the oldest bloodsucker for soul there is out there. You're the oldest bloodsucker for soul out there, Elena. I don't think anyone's going to worry about doing anything to you. It's not me I'm worried about. It's you I'm worried about. So, what's the first match going to be? So let me get this straight. Let me understand this, Wade Barrett says. So, we have Elena Asine, who is the oldest bloodsucker for soul. Older than Angel, older than Spike, older than Lustant, older than Edward Collins, older than Celine and Sandy Blake, older than Count Nightwing, older than Prince Karloff or whatever. So, she's older than Nick Knight and Nick St. Jones and whatever. And now she got her friend, and he's going to have a match. God, they should just brought out the King Spinks doll and save us all the grief. Hey, Tony Schiavone says, why you gotta say something like that for? I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's kind of cool. We're going to get to see the Funny Spinks have his first match here in the Toy Wrestling Gathering, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, well, me too, Jim Ross said. I truly think it will be great. Yeah, well, guess what? I don't think that's so great. And you and me are gonna have a match. Oh, okay, alright, Sonya Deville. I mean, former under-four-setter WWE, former under-wicker of Raw and SmackDown. You know, the overseer of leadership, the overseer of business in TNA. Do you even have a rank here? Yeah, believe it or not, I do. Theodore Long has made me the leader, the overseer of business, and I'm saying you're going to have a match with me. Well, alright, ding. This is going to be great, Wade Barrett says. Sonya Deville, so that's great. Sonya Deville just knocked down the Funny Spinks. Yeah. So much for Ron, look for that, Tony Schiavone says. Sonya Deville has been a heel in her whole time in WWE and also in TNA, Jim Ross says. Yes, she has, Wade Barrett said, and she never won any strap. Not when she was on NXT, not when she was on SmackDown, not when she was on Raw. And Sonya Deville is just having her way with the Funny Spinks, yeah. And he can't even fight, so it's like a stunt, it's a lark. Not to be bloody taken to earnest. Alright, Tony Schiavone said, we'll see if Sonya Deville can beat the Funny Spinks and finally be here. Oh, she wanted to hit him with her running knee, and that's how she beat many folks when she was in WWE. And I don't know if she'll do that in TNA or not, Tony Schiavone says. The Funny Spinks going to the top steeple now. He's going to call this the Spink Splash. Yeah, Jim Ross said that's what he's calling it. And losing to him, fighting him, is like fighting Shinji from Mike Keeper's Mighty Team, a genie from Disney's Aladdin, both the drawing film and drawing show. All of that shit wrapped into one. Yeah, and now she's gonna get besmirched by losing to someone who's not, and can't even wrestle. Wade Barrett says, 1, 2, 3. Ding ding ding. Here is your winner, the Funny Spinks, or whatever the English word for Spinks is, because Spinks is a Hellenic borrowed word, which is borrowed from Hellenish into English, whatever the English word would be, no one seems to know. Once I learn what the English word for that would be, I won't have to work with the borrowed word anymore. Well, anyway, we saw the Funny Spinks, or whatever the English word for Spinks is. We saw him beat Sonya Deville. And her first day on work as the overseer of leadership. And she already took a loss, to the Funny Spinks. So things can't be going truly well for her. Wade Barrett, Tony Schiavone said, none at all, Jim Ross says. That's got to be shameful. Theodore Long named her to be his helper, and she ended up making a match, and then losing the match she made. Wade Barrett says, laugh it up. Come on, continue for along with the shaming and the guilt thing here, until she comes after you two. Wade Barrett says, losing to the Funny Spinks. That is sad. Well, we know someone, Wade Barrett, that's never seems to be that sad, and that's Renee Young. Thank you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. I'm going to be talking with the Funny Spinks here today on the here today on Collision or Hit. Elena, it seems that stand was never meant for you. No, you got that right, Renee. The stand was never meant for me. And hell, the stand that Mattel made for me never really seemed to work very well for me. So what am I going to have to do? Lean up against something? But that's not the bloody grounds of it. The bloody grounds is that my friend, the Funny Spinks, he got his first win against Sonya Deville, whatever she's calling herself, in TNA. Oh shit. Stand up! And I'm truly happy for him and how he got that win. Well, can we talk with the man or cat himself? Because since he is the one who did get that win. Well, I think you should, but be wary. He isn't always known for taking things so earnest. Alright, Funny Spinks, what you gotta say? Well, I had a match with Sonya Deville, so at the end of the day, I don't know why, but I do know I beat her. And Sonya Deville, she doesn't got that understanding. I mean, she wants everyone to take her earnest, you know. And then folks are going to scathe me and say, oh, well, you buried Sonya Deville. Well, I didn't bury Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville buried herself because she thought that by fighting me, and if she beat me, she thought that everyone would be frightened of her. I don't know why I was fighting her. Well, are you worried about her coming after you, since she is now, the overseer of leadership, which is a rank, I guess, above or underneath the main wicker of the TWF? Yeah, it may have been above the wicker of the TWF, but I don't know now. All I know is I beat Sonya Deville, whatever she's calling herself in TNA these days. But I know I won. Alright, that's my talk with Elena Asine. And the funny Spinks, whatever the English word for, whatever the English word for Spinks is, back to you, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross. Fuck. Well, thank you, Renee Young, for talking with the Funny Spinks here today. On Collision or Hit. And that's all the time we got it for Collision or Hit. I, Tony Schiavone, with Jim Ross and Wade Barrett, we hope you like Collision or Hit, and we'll see you tomorrow for Power or Might.